Hello and welcome to FNE Pioneer Tutorials. Today I will be showing you the three basic types of lashing: the square lashing, the diagonal lashing, and the tripod lashing. Let's get to it! Let's start with the square lashing. This lashing, which is used for many different things, is designed to keep two pieces of wood together in the shape of a cross, or like this. Now, there are two terms which we must remember before we get into this: wrapping and frapping. And I'll explain to you those in a little bit. So we must start with our twine. We should get us a good length of it. Be careful with our knives here. I'm going to take one piece of wood. I'm going to take one end of the twine, or rope if you're using that, and we're going to tie us a little clove hitch here on to start it off. Make sure it's tight. I'm going to take the other piece of wood and line it up in the shape of an X with the clove hitch on one side. Then we're going to start wrapping, which is we're going to go around the pieces of wood. So we're going to take our rope, our twine here, and we're going to, if we put the wood on a plane like this, you see there's a top and a bottom piece of wood. We're going to go underneath the bottom piece of wood and over top of the top piece of wood in the shape of a square. So we're going to go, right now we're going to go underneath this, like this, and we're going to go in a clockwise direction. In this case, it doesn't matter which way you go, but we're going to go in a clockwise direction, and we're going to come up over this the top piece of wood, the top bar, and we're going to go underneath it. And we're going to do this 3 times around the pieces of wood, making sure it's tight throughout. Now, once you have it back to the clove hitch, we're going to start what we call frapping. And this is to tighten this the wrapping that we've done. See, here we have done 3 wraps. We have gone around, up and over, and down, under, 3 times around the whole thing. So what we will do is we're going to go underneath the top and over top of the bottom, like this, to try to tighten our wraps. This is called frapping. And we're going to do this 1 less time than the number of times we wrap. So as you can see, with the wraps here, we are trying to tighten the wraps that we have put in there. We got to make sure we pull extra tight if we want our lashing to be secure. And now we're going to finish off after 2 wraps in this case, because we've done 3. After 2 fraps, in this case, since we have done 3 wraps, my bad, we are going to go back to the place where we started with our first clove hitch. We're going to look for that, and then we're going to put the final clove hitch to finish off the knot on the other piece of wood. So in this case, it would be this one. So we're going to do another clove hitch, making sure we are tight. There you have it. Square lashing. Now let's move on to the diagonal lashing. This lashing is a little bit different than this square lashing because it's designed to join two pieces of wood in the shape of an X. This is generally used on the sides of tables or benches. So let's take our twine, or rope if you're using rope, and let's tie a good clove hitch to one of the pieces of wood. Alright, let's take the other piece of wood and we're going to wrap it. Now this wrapping is also a little bit different than square lashing wrapping, because in square lashing we go under and over the pieces of wood. This time we're only going to go, see how there's an X, we're only going to go around the X. So like this. Let's go 3 wraps. As you can see, I'm going around the X with the lashing, with the wrapping. So once we have gone 3 times, we're going to start frapping. In this frapping, we're going to go above and below the X. We're going to go like this. As you can see, we're going in between. It's just like the same as the wrapping, except we're going up and down instead of side to side. And we're going to do this twice, once less than the number of wraps that we did. We have to make sure we're tight once again. All right. Now to finish us off, we're going to do a clove hitch on the other piece of wood, the piece of wood that we did not start on. So in this case, that would be this piece of wood here. So let's do that to finish it off. My rope here is knotted up, but that's not going to stop me. So here we are, diagonal lashing. Now let's try the tripod lashing. So as the name implies, it is used for tying tripods. The tripods can be used for many, many different things. So to start, let's take our 3 pieces of wood and line them up like this on the ground. Now let's take our twine or our rope or whatever we're using and tie a clove hitch to one end, to one piece of wood on the end. Now we can take the other pieces of wood and we're going to intertwine the twine, no pun intended, in and out of the 3 pieces of wood. So we're going to start on one piece of wood, we're going to go under the middle piece of wood, and then over the 3rd piece of wood. And then we're going to come around the 3rd piece of wood, or the other end, from the end opposite the clove hitch. And we're going to go over the middle piece of wood, and then under the 1st piece of wood, the one with the clove hitch. And we're going to do this 3 times. Now, once we are done with our 3 wraps, we're going to do frapping. So we're going to come around in between the 1st and 2nd pieces of wood, these 2 pieces of wood, and we're going to wrap the twine around the wrapping that goes in between the 2 pieces of wood. So we're going to do that twice, as such. We're going to come underneath our wraps here. I'm going to go over top of it, and we're going to wrap it around our wrap. We're going to frap the twine around our wraps twice to keep it tight. Once we're done with that, we will do the same thing for the other wrap. between the second and the third pieces of wood. To finish off the knot, we will do a clove hitch on the third piece of wood, the end piece which we have not already tied a clove hitch on. Once that's tight, you have your tripod. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the FNE Pioneer Tutorials channel. I hope you've learned something in this video. Now, these skills take time to master, but with time and practice, you will get them. See you later!